Hello, dear friends. The two craziest weeks of the year are here, according to astrology. Opinion piece, hard times, social unrest, single thought. The end is near. No coincidences. Speech freedom, emotional crisis. Don't live in fear. Enjoy the silence. Rights repression, regression. The time is coming. Wave of censorship. Cancellation culture. The storm is upon us. Week of financial frenzy. The dam is about to break. Countdown to August 18th. High-reaching spiritual science. The two craziest weeks of the year. Let's start. Massive censorship is taking place all over the world. This indicates that the situation is getting serious. There is a worrying increase in online censorship by governments. They call it Operation Zephyr, but they have no further information. They have deleted all the videos of Harlequin Game Over. I'm sorry, mate. His new channel is called Harlequin We Are One. I'm using a soft at home to avoid that problem. My first channel was demonetized and I lowered my tone. After the event, I changed channels and tone. Journalist Ignacio Ramonet popularized the term single thought in 1995, describing it as a doctrine that envelops and paralyzes any critical reasoning, becoming a universal truth that does not admit questioning, leading to a homogenization of ideas and the manipulation of public opinion. Single thought refers to the imposition of a single ideology or way of thinking that restricts debate and diversity of opinions and can lead to the blind acceptance of a single perspective with no room for dissent. Philosopher Herbert Marcuse denounced one-dimensional thinking. Advanced technological society can restrict discourse, promoting a homogeneous vision that favors the ruling class. Definition. The expression hard times refers to periods of adversity, crisis, or uncertainty in different contexts, whether social, economic, political, or personal. Generally, it is used to describe situations in which living conditions become complicated and challenging, affecting people's well-being and the stability of society. These times refer to moments of social unrest, political discontent, or leadership crisis that can imply a setback in rights and freedoms. In the economic sphere, it is related to recessions, unemployment, and financial difficulties, which generate insecurity and stress in the population. At the individual level, it can refer to experiences of emotional crisis that can be opportunities for spiritual growth. Hard Times is also a novel written by Charles Dickens, first published in 1854. Through his characters, Dickens examines and satirizes the social and economic conditions of the time, contrasting the lifestyle of the upper class and the proletarian class. The novel addresses issues such as dehumanization in industrial society, education, and social inequality. Cancellation. Cancel culture is a social phenomenon that has gained prominence in recent years, especially in the age of social media. It refers to the act of withdrawing support for individuals, groups, or companies due to opinions, actions, or behaviors deemed unacceptable by the official narrative. Cancellation can manifest itself in the form of boycotts, public criticism, or exclusion from events and platforms. Critics warn that it can become a form of harassment and censorship, where people are punished for holding different opinions. Internet censorship is a growing concept, with many governments implementing measures to control or suppress online content. This includes restrictions on social media, messaging apps, and new outlets, affecting freedom of expression and access to information in many countries. Content censorship can take many forms and ranges from governments blocking the dissemination of opinions to blacklisting dissident websites. The British police have warned that they will pursue both British citizens and foreigners for their comments on social networks, amid the violent anti-immigrant protests that are taking place in the country. The British Prime Minister has cancelled his vacation due to the riots. They have arrested more than 700 citizens and charged more than 300. Freedom. Freedom of expression is a fundamental right that allows one to articulate opinions and ideas without fear of reprisals, censorship, or subsequent sanctions. This right is enshrined in Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and in the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, which establish that every living human being has the right to freedom of opinion and expression, and not to be harassed because of it. This includes the freedom to hold opinions without interference, and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas by any means and regardless of borders. The Spanish Constitution recognizes this right in Article 21. It covers the expression and dissemination of thoughts, ideas, and opinions by word, written, or any other means of reproduction, as well as academic freedom. Freedom of expression is essential for the functioning of a fair and open society, as it allows communication and the exchange of ideas, which is fundamental for education, personal development, and access to justice. However, this right faces challenges, especially in contexts where governments try to silence criticism or restrict access to information, as has been observed in some countries where restrictive measures have been applied against peaceful protests. Phrases. Freedom of expression consists of saying what people do not want to hear, according to George Orwell. People demand freedom of expression as a compensation for the freedom of thought they rarely used, according to Soren Kierkegaard. You have the right to freely express only what you are allowed to say, according to Roger Wolf. You can censor a friend in confidence, but you must praise him in front of others, according to Leonardo da Vinci. Humanity progresses. Today it only burns my books. Centuries ago I would have been burnt myself, said Sigmund Freud. All censorship is dangerous because it stops the cultural development of a people. According to Mercedes Sosa, in countries and times where communication is impeded, all other freedoms soon wither away. Debate dies of starvation. Ignorance of the opinions of others becomes rampant, and imposed opinions triumph, according to Primo Levi. When someone uses their religion or his religion to curtail the rights of other people by calling for hatred, that is not freedom of expression. It is violence, according to Daniel Arzola. Secrecy, censorship, dishonesty, and blocking communication threaten all basic needs, according to Abraham Maslow. Thanks to freedom of expression, it is now possible to say that a ruler is useless without anything happening to us, nor the ruler, according to Jaume Perich. If you believe in freedom of expression, then you believe in the freedom to communicate points of view that you dislike, according to Noam Chomsky. Censorship reflects a society's lack of confidence in itself, according to Porter Stewart. Censorship is cowardice. It masks corruption, according to Pablo Antonio Cuadra. If they take away our freedom of speech, we become mute and silent and can be led like sheep to the slaughter, said George Washington. The force of public opinion is irresistible when it is allowed to express itself freely, according to Thomas Jefferson. The democratic health of a country can be measured by evaluating the diversity of opinions, freedom of expression, and the critical spirit of its various media. All dictatorships, right and left, practice censorship and use blackmail, intimidation, or bribery to control the flow of information, according to Mario Vargas Llosa. Of all regime changes, the only one to be feared is the one that prevents you from speaking, according to Albert Guinan. Apocalyptic news. The political situation is getting crazier and crazier. Countdown to August 18th. There is only 1 week left. Will this be another failed date? The Pentagon expects Iran to attack Israel within 72 hours. A statue of the Virgin Mary comes to life in an Ohio church. The White House has been taken offline. They are not prepared for what comes next. RFK Jr. says his name will definitely be on the ballot in all 50 states. Microsoft says presidential campaign was hacked with Iranian support. Trump campaign says it was hacked by an Iranian group. Rumors are circulating about another assassination attempt after Donald Trump's plane was forced to make an emergency landing due to a hydraulic leak. The storm is upon us. Are you ready for the storm that has already arrived? Trump's fake death starts the storm. If Trump's death is faked, this gives the bricks the catalysts to take down the 34 structures and collapse the dollar. More than 11,000 people affected in Sunday by rain in Sudan, a country, by rain and floods. Reflections. In the end, we won, even if it is not yet visible. There are no coincidences. The fate of the cabal is written. The end is near. The time is coming, seekers of truth. God knows you. Enjoy the silence. Prepare for the end of time. 10 days of darkness. The lion's gate opens. This movement is bigger than anyone can imagine. Peace through strength. There are many individuals who are possessed by demons and are not aware of it. People do not want to believe that they have been deceived. They cannot admit that they were wrong. They cannot turn back. The craziest 2 weeks of the year are here. Challenging aspects from Saturn and Mars have the energy of hemorrhoids, both spiritually and physically. Bring Neptune and the Moon in to break up and dissolve the difficult and the slow. Earth is the pinnacle of divine creation. Whatever dimension or planet you come from, you know the spiritual battle is here. Across time and space, we've all arrived here, the good and the bad. But they are few and we are many. And those of us who are awake need not worry. The normalists have no common sense at all. It is not one thing, but 17,000 different things. Many will go to doctors to treat depression and anxiety. The dam is about to break. We are participants in a high-reaching spiritual science test. This test has many components. How have we done on the 7 deadly sins part? How have we extended grace in our daily lives? Are we helping others and animals as we should have? This was an open book test. Don't live in fear. Have faith that this is under control. No matter what the wicked have, we already know what they are going to do. You will be shown a little of their plans, and they will take care of it. It has to be that way. You can't tell people what is happening, because they wouldn't believe it. You have to show it so that this never happens again. In Carlos Castaneda's work, the flyers are described as predatory cosmic entities that influence human consciousness. According to Don Juan Matus, the flyers are responsible for humans losing their original freedom. These entities feed on the energy generated by human consent and control us through our traditions and customs. They are said to have given us the mind, attachments, and ego, which has allowed us to evolve and become civilized, but in exchange, they have made us their hostages, controlling our belief systems and media. Economy. Stocks have had an hectic week and month. A dicing week brings the debt market back to square one. Investors in Bank of America are increasingly betting against the dollar. European stock markets close a volatile week as global markets recover. Divorce not an option for unhappy UK marriages in the face of inflation. Air conditioning leaves many Europeans unable to pay their bill. Algeria establishes itself as the main source of natural gas imported by Spain in 2024. Borrell calls the Israeli attack on a school in Gaza a massacre. The protests in Spain against tourism could spread throughout Europe. Americas. A respite for the Mexican peso. It closes the week with a slight appreciation against the dollar. Collapse of Mexican pyramid due to rain. It is one of the twin pyramids in the archaeological dome site of Iguazio in Michoacán. This event is considered a bad omen in the Purepecha worldview. Delivery man discovers tunnel and foils bank robbery in Buenos Aires. María Corina Machado calls for a large global protest amid political tension in Venezuela. Edmundo González calls on Nicolás Maduro to release the detainees and to respect the will of Venezuelans for change. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.